Hello everyone and welcome to the 5th installment of our Daily Blitz series for EA Sports College Football 25. I am Vol for Life 8657.
And I'm Coziest Koala 306. We'll be here assisting where needed.
And today we are going to look at one of the more anticipated features of this game in Dynasty mode, customizing your schedule. This one is going to be a little bit different than ones we've done in the past because, as I will explain here in a bit, there are some things we're going to need to do differently. Having said all of that, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to jump right into this. I'm in the main menu, and we're going to go and press A here on Dynasty.
You have 4 options.
The last Dynasty that was
selected.
played is the Dynasty that he created in the earlier video. So, we should be all ready to go with the continue button.
Yep, that is the continue button. We're going to press it.
Entering Dynasty Hub screen actions.
We are on the Actions tab now.
So, one of the things, we're on the Actions tab. There's the CFP tab off to our right. We're not going to mess with the CFP tab for the moment, but we are going to scroll down one and click Custom Schedules. Go down.
Custom schedules is
Because
selected.
the first option is deals with recruiting, which is a whole nother can of worms.
We are going to do recruiting, though.
Yeah, that's
And-
the next thing.
We're going to press A.
Entering custom schedule screen locked row. By week location option is set to it with opponent
Talk about
Georgia
week
Tech
0?
at Dublin Stadium is selected.
Yes, let's talk about week 0. So, in college football now, because there are so many teams that are vying for TV time, exposure time, and just trying to get their full 12 games in without running out of time in the college football schedule, there is a new week. It is affectionately known as Week 0. It is not the official start to the college football season, but it does allow some teams to get started so that by the time it's all said and done, everybody's schedules will sync up. It is again affectionately known as Week 0. Florida State this year will start on Week 0, and they actually are playing in Dublin, Ireland against... Who did that say?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, which is a conference matchup.
And that's locked.
And that is locked. A note about conference matchups, you cannot change a conference matchup. Now, what we want to do is customize the schedule that we're going to be playing with. So let's scroll down one.
Lock row. Week 1 location option is set to PS with opponent Boston College at Oak Campbell Stadium.
So we heard that this one is locked because they're playing Boston College at home in Week 1. So Week 0, they go to Ireland. Week 1, they play Boston College. Talk about jet lag city. Let's go to Week 2.
Week 2 location option is set to with opponent open at inset.
So what we have here is it says that it's set to nothing because there's no team there. And then it says open at unset. This is one of your open weeks. You may have one open week, you may have several open weeks. I think that after week 2, an open week is too soon, and I want to change who they face in week 3 anyways, or in week 2, the next week, because I don't like Memphis. I think Memphis is too weak of an opponent for them, so we want to change that. A note about how to change that: there are 2 filters that you can filter by. The right trigger, or R2, is going to filter by star rating. The higher the star rating, the greater quality of opponent you'll probably face.
And the tougher
the opponent that you will face. The left trigger, or L2, will filter by conference. So if you're more conference oriented, you can select out of all the different conferences what teams you play. The teams are in a 4 by however many rows there are, a 4 by however many rows there are as far as a grid. And the grid will wrap from left to right. It will tell you when it wraps from left to right, but it does not automatically go down to the next row. You will need to use up and down for that. Also, the grid does not read, so I will be showing you in the second example what we do to choose a team. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is go down.
Week 3 location option is set to it with opponent Memphis at Simmons
We're going to show them
Liberty Stadium.
we're going to show them what happens if you try to do more than 12 games.
I'm going to show them what happens up here.
Week
So,
2 location option is set to with opponent open.
we have an
set
open
set.
week here. We have multiple open weeks here. Let me show you what happens if you try to schedule something with more than 12 games. And if I didn't mention this earlier, you have 12 games in a season. You are not allowed to have more than that. But I'm going to see if I can cheat the system.
Week 2 screen, you have 100 options.
Narrator mode. Controller mode.
Sorry about that, folks.
0 1 2 3 stars, 4 stars.
And I'm just going to choose someone at random here because I don't really care who I face as long as they're a 4-star opponent. I'm going to go down once and to the right and press A.
Entering. Attention pop-up. You've reached the max number of games that you can schedule. You must renew the game before adding another. Okay.
So the system is smart. I cannot get past that. It is a hard block. I cannot add another game to the schedule just because I have an open date. But what I can do is I can change the open date to the following week and then go back to week 2 and add a better opponent. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to scroll down once.
Week 3 location option is set to it with opponent Memphis at Simmons Liberty Stadium.
And there's the game against Memphis.
Week 3 entering custom schedules. Week 3
So
screen,
right
you have
here-
100 options.
There's a team selected, so the first option is bye week.
So I'm going to press A.
Week 3 location option is set to with opponent open at and set.
So we have our bye week now set to week 3. Let's go up to week 2.
Week 2 location option is set to
Oh, you can
with
add it.
opponent open at and set.
Yes, we have 11 games now. I can go ahead and add one back. So let's press A here.
Week 2 entering custom schedules. Week 2 screen, you have 101 options.
We have 101 options that we can choose from, and I'm actually going to go ahead and filter this by 5 stars. That narrows the team selection, and then we're going to show you how you will be able, one of the ways in which you'll be able to get your team selection.
0 star, 1 2 3 4 star, 5 stars.
Alright everyone, so we are now going to perform the scan with Picture Smart to determine what 5-star teams are available so we can make a selection.
Space not checked. Full screen project.
Now in the window, I'm going to press
Space.
Insert Space,
P Picture Smart.
P, and
Picture
Shift
Smart is in progress.
W. And we're going to go to the Chat GPT heading with H.
Heading level 2 chat GPT.
I will let Jaws read the image to you.
Blank. The image is a screenshot that appears to be from a sports simulation video game that shows a custom schedule interface for week 2. Blank. On the left side, there are logos for various college football teams. 1. Alabama logo with a stylized day. 2. Georgia. 3. Michigan. 4. Ohio State.
So I want to have us face Michigan. Well, this time it's a 4x1 grid because there are no other rows underneath it. But I want to just ask it to verify how am I supposed to get there. So
Ask ChatGPT questions about this image link.
tab to the Ask ChatGPT questions link. Press enter.
Enter. Type of question. Edit. Type of text. In the image, the Michigan team can be found on the left side where the logos of various college football teams are displayed. 1. Alabama logo is displayed first. 2. Georgia logo is next. 3. Michigan logo is third in the sequence and features a large M. To navigate to Michigan, you would typically use the left and right trigger buttons labeled LT and RT in the image on your controller to cycle through the teams. Look or press until you highlight or land on the Michigan logo. Once the Michigan logo is selected, detailed information about the Michigan team similar to Alabama's details would likely appear on the right side of the screen.
Okay, so it told us that it was 2 from the right of Alabama in order. 1, 2, 3. LT and RT do not navigate via teams. It's the D-pad that does. That's the thing that it got wrong. So we're gonna hit escape.
Escape. Blank. Full screen projector.
We now know where Michigan is. I'm gonna right arrow twice. And I'm gonna press A. And if all goes according to plan, we will have selected our first game.
Week 2 location option is set to VS with opponent Michigan at Doak Campbell Stadium.
And I'm going to go ahead and change this to the right.
Week 2 location option is set to it with opponent Michigan at Michigan Stadium.
And we're going to play at Michigan in week number 2. So Florida State's going to have a heck of a schedule to start out with. I want to make one more change. There is a generic FCS team that I want off the schedule. So we're going to scroll down until we find it, and then we're going to change it.
Week 13 location option is set to VS with opponent FCS Northwest at Doak Campbell Stadium.
FCS Northwest, not Southeast. I do want to also let you know there were other games that we could change, but those are rivalry games. There's Miami, there's Notre Dame earlier in the season, and below this team is Florida. While I could change them, I don't wish to change them because Florida State has traditional rivalry matchups with those teams. Alright, so I know which team I'm going to play with here. We're going to play against Oregon. And they are 1 to the right of Arkansas. So I'm going to press right arrow, and I'm going to press the A button.
Week 13 location option is set to VS with opponent Oregon at Doak Campbell Stadium.
So we have our schedule the way that we want it. So before I save, buttons and things that you need to know. Right trigger will filter by star rating. Left trigger will filter by the conferences. Y will reset the schedule back to its default. This is if you've made a change and you don't like it, or you selected the wrong team. And if you press in on the left stick, it will generate you a new schedule with your conference teams locked, and you may get better teams that way in your non-conference. We are going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to press B to get to bring up the save prompt.
Entering exit custom schedules pop-up scheduling changes have been made. How would you like to proceed? Save.
Yes, we're going to save.
Entering Dynasty Hub screen actions.
And our schedule has been confirmed. Florida State has a very tough schedule. I will say something really quick here about the top 25. You can go and look if you are just interested to see which schools starting preseason are going to be good ones for you to face. If you hit the right bumper,
CFP preseason top 25.
the first option you land on is CFB preseason top 25. I'm going to press A.
Entering
Now,
top
the top
25
25
rankings
initially
spreadsheet
is based
screen.
on votes on what team is expected to be at the top of the country, but then it's based on schedule and who you're facing and who wins and loses. If you win and lose on the home field or if it's an away game, and the strength of the opponent.
There's so many ratings that deal with making the top 25, so it will change. But this is a good starting point to look at the beginning of the season.
Last week,
It also
name
is a good
votes
thing
34
to
Euro
keep in
Georgia
mind
35
about this
Usernome.
season, because those rankings determine what bowl schedule and who gets into the college football playoffs, where they're ranked.
Yeah, the top 12 teams in the country at the end of the season will be in the college football playoff this year. First 5 teams get a bye week. The final 7 have to basically play an extra game.
Sort of like the wild card.
Exactly like that. We have one wild card round for the bottom 7, and then it proceeds as normal after that for everybody else. So let's look and see who we have at number 1. We've got Georgia at number 1.
Name votes 780 Ohio State 26.
We have Ohio
username.
State at number 2.
Name votes 1020 Texas 1 username.
Texas is at number 3.
Name votes 830 Oregon username.
Oregon is number 4.
Name votes 820 Ole Miss username.
Ole Miss is number 5. Which means people are prognosticating that Ole Miss is actually going to be a decent team this year. This is, again, preseason ranking, and that will change. But this is just a look at the top 5. If you are playing as a team that you want to see if they're in the top 25, you can just scroll down. Or if you want to face a team that you're looking for in the top 25, you can scroll down. I'm going to hit B to get out of this.
Entering Dynasty Hub screen preseason top 25.
And that concludes this Daily Blitz. The next few Daily Blitzes are going to be very important, as they will focus on the heart and soul of this mode, and that is recruiting.